Alright, I've done this before. This is my new Alex deck, but the recordings were kind of wonky, and also I forgot to turn my mic back on, apparently. So we're going to retake it. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm gonna probably use this win, lose, or otherwise. It's a kind of even-keeled deck from what I can tell, but I mean, I have won a game or two with it. It's going to get tweaked here and there, but
How does fear drive
yeah,
the will
we'll see how
to
it goes.
survive? Do pain, suffering, and loss detract from that will? We shall see.
We're already on a roll. I would like to hit the immobilizer, but I don't know if I necessarily need to. We got a leg hold and a tracker mine right there. Where are they going? It's really important to know where they're going. If they come to this door, I might be able to...
The cage has found you.
They're coming here.
Well, here goes any hope I had of getting this past the Research Ethics Committee. Yes, this data is intriguing.
I should have hit the tracker mine first,
the path to further
but that's fine.
danger.
She's going down.
I'm surprised it took you that long to find. I made that one easy for you.
That was right on her.
Wonderful.
Well played.
This could be the most disappointing test yet.
I don't kill him. Or do I? If I can stop the Jan, I'm in good shape. No, I'm not gonna stop it. I just gotta let him go. I don't want to feed him. They're gonna get 3 minutes to work with.
Let's really test you.
The problem is I have really low bioenergy right now because I kept the pressure on them.
Is ready for you. Proceed.
Oh wait, I got actually some bioenergy. Oh no, Yorick, you're in a bad spot, buddy.
Aren't our eyes made to be torn out, and hearts for the same purpose?
Please don't see him. Please don't see him. Please don't see him. They seen him.
Run and hide if you can. The key is yours. This moment of hope will make the coming terror sweeter.
That damage, though. Are they going here? He gets this.
alliance can give us. Why do you still resist me?
Oh no.
That is not what I expected. There should be a pile of you by now.
Oh. I didn't realize they got that one. That's bullshit. That's not gonna do me any good. Triple mines will help. Oh, I got cucked on... Whatever. Oh, I got damage in on him, though. It was a bit of a waste. If I could have downed her, that would have been a really decent play, but I didn't. We've got 2 minutes.
Reach for the sun, unaware that the fire will burn them to ashes.
Wait. I fucked up. I know they're coming this way, though. I didn't want to click on that. I wanted to put down a leg hold.
Why must we continue? Stop what you're doing!
Can I please place Yada Veil?
We have so many ways of killing you. You will not succeed. Your hope is in vain.
Actually it is. I win.
That's
GG.
not surprising.
I should have beat him earlier, but I got him at the end. That Devour came in kind of clutch. And they ran the wrong way, I think, trying to get away from Yada Veil. I should have been able to devour him. I don't know where the Thou was. I didn't see her. My view was kind of obstructed, so I just was mashing triangle as quickly as I could. So that's kind of how the deck works. These guys actually played a lot worse than some of the other people that I've been playing against. I did pretty much steamroll one team. I honestly thought I'd get S, but I only missed it by, I believe, 78 points. So we're getting our rank up. So they did horribly. Especially the Valve, and the Valve's what cost them the game right there, because they gave me a free Devour. I thought I could get the Tyrone, but I got the Val instead, so, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who I got. It's just I wanted to get the Tyrone because he was the one that was dealing the most damage to my Biocores. There isn't really a whole lot to say about this. I thought that Joe would be a little bit stronger, but I don't know if she's running Rocket Launcher or not. She just didn't seem like she was a really big factor. I downed her a couple times too. Or at least once, especially at the beginning. I got her and the Val both in the one room. So that kept them busy. So this build can probably be interchanged with Alex and Spencer. My Spencer isn't high enough rank to do this build. And plus I want to build up each mastermind in sequence. I kind of broke the rule because I had some missions to do for gun cards, so that kind of forced my hand to play Spencer because he's kind of gun heavy. But this deck actually, now that it's the way it is, would have also sufficed for that. I'm going to cut myself off here, and then I'm going to add on another clip where I talk about what I have in the deck, and then we're probably going to go into presets and stuff, which this was Casino, so I'll actually be covering the Casino preset that I have set up. Okay, so for this build, let's just start with the skill, and we'll move over to equipment and then deck. So the bioweapon I have the same. I can't even do anything right now with this, and I don't really care for self-destruct anyways. So I'd rather earn the Devour to do the self-destruct, because I don't like actually taking out a Veil out of play. That's just my preferred style. It's not the right way, it's not the wrong way, it's just how I prefer to do it. I honestly think that Yada Veo is a bigger threat staying on the map. You could use the self-destruct if you have like multiple low health survivors in the area and you're running low on time with Yada Veo, which there is a timer in the lower left hand corner. I actually didn't notice that until I was watching streams, but yeah, I tend to pay attention to that a little bit more now too, now that I know it's there. So for our second one, we have the Biohazard, which increases infectious gas duration in creatures. This skill doesn't really matter one way or the other. I don't really use infection in this build, so this passive doesn't even matter. This is the big one. So I have the Residence of Evil. I have Mechanic equipped, which increases my trap durability and the time required to disarm them, and then it reduces the time required to trigger them. That is going to play in big when we get to the equipment, because I have equipment that actually stacks with this, and it actually creates the Instamind deck. So for equipment, I'm running the triple landmine. I got cucked in that game. The mines showed as green, and then only one of them spawned in, which kind of sucks. I would have been able to get a lot more use out of them if they had actually spawned in like they said they would. If a trap shows red, then by all means, it's not supposed to spawn in, but the traps I clearly saw were green, and I hit X, and only one showed up, which is complete bullshit. Now, I did get some damage in on them. I guess they were close enough to it, because they did start shooting it immediately, but I want my 3 traps. Like, that would have done more damage to them. It wouldn't have given me more time taken off, but it would have given me more damage, and that's what the mines are for. A lot of people are complaining because the time stacks got removed. So if before the nerf, if you got hit with 3 mines, you would take negative 15 seconds on the clock. Now if you get hit with 3 mines, you only get -5. A lot of people are whining and complaining about this. I think it's stupid because the mines still do the same damage. So if you're downing people with the mines, which is what this build is designed for, you're going to... the time that you lose is inconsequential. Because you're going to get 15 seconds for the down, and then if you secure the down, if you secure the kill, that's another -30 seconds. So they're already losing 5 seconds for getting hit with it, 15 seconds for getting downed by it, and then an additional 30 for dying if they don't get picked up and bleed out. So, yeah, 5 of 15 is 20, and then another 30 is 50 seconds. It's almost a full minute of time that they lose. Plus, you have to take into consideration the amount of time that the other survivors have to take to help pick this person up. And not to mention that there was literally a scenario here where I had 2 survivors downed at once. Now, granted, that was with my machine gun, but at the end of the day, the mines help do the damage. It doesn't matter at the end of the day what, did the down. At the end of the day, my mines helped with that. Another thing is people were complaining about the reduction of time loss with the machine guns. As you saw here, it's inconsequential. I won. Granted, I feel like I should have been able to close it in the first phase, but I didn't. I conceded it. I didn't want to feed them any more time, and that is part of the strategy. Like, this, in my opinion, this is more of a time management strategy game than anything. So you have to manage your time, and you have to know when to concede, because if you go hard and try to end them, you could potentially inadvertently give them more time, and that's one thing I don't want to do. So it's better to just play the long game and, get your shots in when you can, and, play the strategy. This one is, again, inconsequential. I honestly my hope was that this build wouldn't even get to Phase 3. Oh, and also, these are only available in Phase 2 and beyond. I would very much like this build to stay out of Phase 3, because I'm not going to use either of these. When I unlock the camouflage gesture at 19, I'm not going to use it, because this isn't a creature deck. And this, I don't need. Like, I don't have anything that has infection related to it. So this is basically a card that is a waste. And in all sincerity, I'd rather just not have a card at Phase 3, a unique card, because this costs 10 to get rid of, and I just don't want creatures on my map. But it's neither here nor there. There's nothing I can do about it. I'll probably just leave this in the deck and just hope for the best, because there's really nothing I can do about it, and I don't want to waste 10 bioenergy to get it out of the hand so that I can, get a better card. Onto our equipment. Our equipment is pretty straightforward. We're EIS heavy on the equipment, so we have greatly increases EIS activation speed, and then moderately increased EIS activation speed, and then we are running a miniature reactor which increases my bioenergy recharge. When I first did this build, I noticed that I was having a lot of issues getting the bioenergy that I needed. The bioenergy gains seemed relatively low, so I went with this, and it's a little bit better. Once I get my next equipment slot unlocked, there isn't even another one that gives you increased bioenergy. I'll have to look at my look at the equipment, and I might pick something else that hopefully aids me. Maybe increased damage from machine guns or rifles or whatever. I'll probably do something that does increase damage, because the damage is really what I'm after. The EIS is pretty simple. It allows me to activate the mines instantly, basically, when it stacks with the mechanic perk. So yeah, that's really all there is to that. It also allows me to close doors quicker, turn off lights, and all that stuff. It's a nice addition, but I have the EIS equipment strictly for the mines. Everything else is just a bonus. The deck, as you can see, there's literally no creatures. It is all traps. I have the shield, which protects my camera, so you saw them shooting out cameras when I was shooting at them, and it was disrupting and messing up my my shots. I could also run shock absorbers as equipment for that, but I don't really think I need it when I have the shield. The shield will serve its purpose, I feel. And then I'm running machine gun and rifle. Once I get high caliber rifle and rifle turret, I might put in the high caliber rifle, and I don't think I need turret. I don't want turret because turrets, the AI on turrets is kind of derpy, in all honesty. But I'm going to probably add more guns to this build. If I remove anything, I'll probably remove either the lock trap or the tracker mine. But I do like these two. But the high caliber rifle I think would probably serve me better. Then we also have your basic landmines, your leg hold traps, and the high explosive landmine. I would typically put the high explosives and the regular landmines together. I've also been messing with some cheeky ideas of putting a leg hold trap in front, so that when they run into a trap, that's the first thing they hit. And then if they don't actually trigger the mines themselves, I can activate it. And then also at the same time, when I'm placing my mines, I like to place the landmine first. That way, if the Martin walks up to a landmine and starts to defuse it, that's the mine he starts to defuse first, and then follow it up with the high explosive landmine, which is really the star of the deck when it comes to the mines. That will literally do a lot of damage, and it will throw them very far. We already covered the lockdown trap. All it does is lock all the doors when they trigger it, and they did trigger it this game, so I was actually quite happy to see that work, and that was actually part of the preset. I didn't actually place that lockdown trap. That was in the preset, so that was nice to see work finally. Tracker mine is, again, I think it does deduct time when they trigger it, but all it really does is it marks them, and then it allows me to do more damage to them when they're marked. So yeah, I like it. It's not something that is a must-have for this deck, but for right now, it's not bad. I'm going to probably switch it out for something more powerful, but, you know, for costing 1 bioenergy, it's something nice to have. I also have that in some of my presets. Then we have the immobilizing round, which is kind of like Yadaveo's slime. If you shoot it, they'll be immobile. They can't immobilize, and I like to combo that up with either rifle or machine gun. Machine gun just shreds their health, and you saw what happened in phase 2 when I hit him with an immobilizer and then a machine gun. They just die. Then last but not least, kind of this could be, I could consider this a clutch card. It's clone. So if I use a card, clone then becomes that card and costs 1 extra. I like this. I have been toying with the idea of maybe putting discount in this deck, but I'm not sure. It's situational. I would definitely keep clone regardless. If I do put discount in here, I would probably switch out discount for either the lockdown trap or the tracker mine, and discount costs the same as tracker mine, so it would be a fair trade to trade out tracker mine for that. But I'm just going to keep the deck as is for right now until I get the other cards that I'm looking for, and I'll make the appropriate tweaks and adjustments then. But that's pretty much the deck. We're going to go into the preset now and go over how I set things up and why I did what I did, and all of that. Okay, so we are in our preset for Casino, which is the map that we just finished playing on. phase 1 is pretty straightforward. All it is puzzle pieces, and you basically select where to put the puzzle pieces. Now, Casino is kind of a unique map, and there's one thing that people are going to probably be scratching their heads about, and I'll cover that in a minute. But this is all kind of like a big, wide open area. These are all my cameras that I have in that area. So the reasoning why I put the keys where I did is these are easily defendable areas. As you could see when the Jill and the Valerie broke through this door, they ran right into... I think I immobilized them before they even triggered any of the traps, and I downed them. Then they got around... no, the valve triggered the tracker mine. I believe that's a tracker mine. Let's... Yes. I believe the valve triggered the tracker mine, and I don't think anyone hit the leg hold trap. I think they shot that out. But they both got downed, and they ended up crawling back here, and I ended up hitting the Tyrone with mines and stuff. And it was a bit of a clusterfuck. So, here's the reasoning that I have 2 puzzle pieces in this room. This is the one room that I will always be defending. It's the first room I go to, because when I start, I believe I start in this camera overlooking their entrance. So I did place a mine here to start, and I did activate it, but when they walk, they're going around this area and through this way, and right here is this room. So this is usually the first room that I check when I'm playing Survivor. Sometimes you'll have people break off here and go through this way. It's usually best to have 2 groups of 2. So there's usually going to be 2 survivors going this way, through here, and then 2 other ones going through here, which is exactly what they did. Now, I have the locked doors to slow them down a little bit, and leg hold traps behind the doors, but they're not always guarantees. They're just there to slow them down, and hopefully not feed them time. But once you kind of get a grip of what my build is, it's easy to identify what's going on, and honestly, if you're not just mindlessly running through the doors after you break them in, you can see the trap and take it out. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out, but some people don't do that. They're, for lack of a better term, dumb. So my mindset in this first phase is I have to at least concede an objective in all likelihood. So this one is basically the objective that I'm conceding. These 2 are the 2 that I'm defending, because I can't be here defending and here defending at the same time. I just don't have the skills and the attentiveness for it. Especially if the 2 that come through here are the speedrunners. They're going to get the key, they're going to be gone, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I kind of just pick a spot to defend, and that's just the best way to go about it. And I defended it pretty well. I almost ended the game in the first phase. So that's kind of my approach to things. The reason why I don't have a lock on this door is because this is going to be the room that I go to after I set up maybe like a cheeky mine here or whatever. So I'm going right here, and then I'm going to use EIS to lock this door anyways. I don't need the door to be like a level 2 or a level 3 locked door. I just need them to waste time getting in through, and then if they have a teammate, more often than not, they're going to rush in and they're going to hit one of these 2 traps. Hopefully the leg hold, but if not, then I hopefully have an immobilizer to fall back on. It doesn't always work that way. RNG is a bitch sometimes, but that's kind of what I'm going for. So then, onto our next phase or area. So here, I get to pick the security devices. And my approach to this, much like the other phase, which I didn't go into, is I'm trying to make them cover as much of the map as possible. And where these are laid out, they have to literally cover the entire map. So they come in through here, and they have 2 routes they can take. They can either go right, or they can go left. If they go left, they're going to run into, what is that? Hold on. That's a leg hold trap. They could potentially run into a leg hold trap. If they see it, it is what it is. Then they get like 5 or 10 seconds or whatever. I just put that there for lack of options. And then I also have a leg trap on the steps right there. I honestly think this is a good spot. I don't know if they got trapped by it or not. I wasn't paying attention. But then I have a tracker mine and a leg hold trap here in this room. And they have to go in here to get that kiosk or security device. But again, I start here in this camera. I don't typically like being in this camera. So I usually go straight to this room. And this is the room that I usually choose to defend because, one, I can set up Yada Veil right here and try and stop them. And two, I have it set up in this room because I can also set up Yada Veil literally right here and also stop them. And the person carrying the objective, can only be in one place at once. So, in all likelihood, depending on where Yorick spawns, which Yorick usually spawns here, hopefully, usually sometimes in this room. In this instance, he spawned back here, and I moved him over to here in hopes that they wouldn't see him, and the Tyrone did see him, and I was like, meh. But, in a perfect scenario, Yorick would spawn either here or here, and I can just run Yorick into the room, hide him, and try my best to defend. It doesn't always work that way, but, I mean, it is what it is. Then I have a lockdown trap here, and a leg hold trap. So, that actually works perfectly, because I believe they hit the lockdown trap on this one. And then, hopefully, they hit the leg hold, and I can just rain down whatever type of destruction I have, be it a mine, or a gun, or whatever. And then it's the same approach and premise to this room. And then also a similar approach and premise here, except I didn't put it at the door. I put it at the steps so it's a little bit more concealed, and it's not as predictable, because I have a trap right here, and I imagine expecting a trap here would, you know, it would be expected. If you're going down the steps, it'd probably be harder to see. If they come in through this way and go up the hallway, it might be easier to spot because it's elevated. But, I mean, again, it just is what it is. It's there to hopefully potentially slow them down. That works. So this door here, I don't care about this door. I'm more concerned about this door being locked because I don't know if I'm ever going to have time to actually lock it. If I want this door locked, I can always jump into this camera and lock it with EIS, or even that camera to lock it with EIS. It doesn't really matter whether that door is open or closed. I'd rather have all these other doors locked automatically, because if I hop into this room, I can then lock it make it a level 2 lock, which makes it longer for them to get in, and it gives me longer to build up bioenergy, and it gives me an opportunity to figure out what kind of a play I want to make with what cards I have. So that's pretty much it for that. On to phase 3 now. So here, I believe I put, I have a lockdown trap. So my hopes here is when they slide out through the door, they automatically just hit this and lock every single one of these doors. Because there are too many doors here for me to have to deal with. And honestly, I didn't like setting up this preset for this map because there were so many doors that I actually wanted to lock that I couldn't, that it was just maddening. Because this map has so many doors. It has all the doors. Like, literally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 different doors on this map. And there's no way to hit all of them with, even with EIS. I think you can only lock one door at a time, and then it's on cooldown, so it's impossible. So we're running a lockdown mine right there for that exact reason. I don't want to add anything. I just want a cursor point. So the doors that I have locked are the doors that I hope the biocores spawn in those rooms. I don't get to pick where the biocores spawn. It's all random. out of 5 spots. So you have one here, 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 and here. Is there only 4? Okay, there's only 4. My mistake. Some maps I guess have 5, but I'm only seeing 4. So of the 4, there's 3 spawn in at random. So actually this doesn't make this phase that bad. I thought there was 5 always for this phase, but there's only 4. Either way, I chose this room because I actually like defending this room, again, because Yadaveo can spawn in. This room's defendable, but I don't really care for it too much. I also picked this room, again, because of Yadaveo, and then I also picked this room because, again, Yadaveo, and then I put in a cheeky leg trap here. I didn't want to put it down here because it's hard for me to get a view on this camera, and I actually prefer this camera over this one. I didn't even know there was a camera here. But I only focus on these two this camera for this room, even though this one's here. I can switch to this camera if need be, but I'd rather just have this one because I have direct line of sight on the biocore, and I can pretty much see them from right about here, right where the other camera is, essentially. So pretty much all the spots I chose to try and defend are spots where I can place my Yadaveo. And honestly, that's why I like phase 3. I have to rely on Yadaveo. Otherwise, I'm in deep shit. I forget where I think it was this room where I got the Devourer. I don't know why the wall blocked my view, but at the end of the day, I got the Devourer, and that's actually what what clutched the game for me. There isn't really much else to say. Like, it's honestly rinse and repeat. It's the same idea and concept over and over again for each phase that I have going on here. Like a leg hole trap behind the door. There's a leg hole trap and a tracker mine here, just so I can get in some extra damage if they come in like balls to the walls. But that's pretty much the build. My other preset that I have made is more or less for Daniel and Annette, so I kind of had to take a step back and do a preset for Alex, and I can probably also use this preset for Spencer. So, and I probably will do that. It's just that Annette and Daniel are very much alike, and Alex and Spencer are kind of similar as well. Spencer's just more gun heavy, so my Spencer build and my Alex builds will probably end up being closer to the same because I kind of do want a little bit more guns in the Alex deck too. But yeah, hope that explained some things. And hopefully it wasn't as too drawn out, because this is probably going to be like a 20-25 minute video with all the sections put together.